Hi everyone. Today I'm joined by Soraya, who lives in Portugal, and she's an aura reader and also energy cleanser, which is a topic I've always been fascinated about. I had my aura read last year, and there was a lot of purple and blue and all the rainbow colors that came up, and it was really interesting for the way it was really interpreted to me. And now I've connected to Soraya. I'm not even sure how we managed to bump into each other, but we've maintained a relationship since then, and I am super excited to have her here. So hi, Soraya. Thank you so much
Hi,
for joining
Lena.
me today.
Thank you so much
Hey,
for having me. So
yeah, no,
excited about
I'm
this
very,
too.
very, yeah, likewise, because there's so many questions I want to ask you, and I'm sure the listeners would also love to find out more about energy cleansing and aura. So can you just begin by telling us what's actually energy cleanse and why do you think it's important?
Okay, so as you are one whole being, you have a physical body, you have an emotional body, you have a mental body, you have a spiritual body, and all of these are part of you. So this means that every part of you is energy. It's not just your spiritual body because you are one whole being. And so as an energy cleanse, it can be not only cleansing the energy of your spiritual body, but it can be cleansing your energy mentally, emotionally, physically. So whenever you start working on healing or balancing any of your bodies, even if it's just your physical, you are already in the process of doing energy cleanse itself, because you are whole and complete. So you cannot separate bits of you. So when you work on one, you're working on every level of you. So even working on your physical body, it can already cleanse your energy. And it's so super important to cleanse your energy, because there are so many ways in which we can get our energy, how to say, it slows down, it vibrates lower, and it just limits you. It can even become really heavy to just move your body. And it definitely creates blocks in manifesting your reality according to your desires. So definitely recommend everyone to cleanse their energy, no matter at which level it is, whether physical, mental, emotional, or even energetically.
Right, and you also, when you get this energy blockages, I mean, you talk about manifesting, but even if you take kind of, day-to-day living, it can cause all sorts of illnesses, right? I mean, we talk about even small things like a headache or pain shoulders to something a lot more serious than that, because I think that, I mean, the science has really already proved that most of the illnesses that people that we experience occur from these disturbances in our energy fields. And if you don't address them, you're only working on your physical body, so you never truly really heal, because that's why so many diseases keep on coming back and back and back, because you're not actually working on a core issue of that energy of that issue.
I think that's very important what you're saying, because most people who actually enter into this energetic and spiritual world just start focusing on energy, and everything's about energy, and they forget to take care of their physical body, and they forget that the signs that their physical body is showing them has an energetic how to say background. It has an implication energetically that manifests in your physical, and it works both ways. So you can have something in your spiritual body which is affecting you physically, or you can gain a physical issue that will then reflect on your energetic bodies. So it's all linked, and one cannot be without the other. So it's really important to, even though we think about our energetic body and how to cleanse our energy, it's really important to know and to listen to our physical body.
Let's say like now, I mean, for the last about 3 days, I've struggled with severe, like, I mean, the agony in here is just so bad, and even like my ears are buzzing. But yet every day, I wake up and I meditate and I kind of feel calm. By about like 10, 11 o'clock, the pain comes up. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm about to pull my hair out. I've got to literally sit with my earthing card. I've got to put some patches on me. So what do you think could be happening?
So right here from your neck, right here till your shoulder, you have a very important energy channel, where you have one on each side, and these are called transmediunic energy channels. And they are very, very susceptible to energy attacks, which means that whenever you have dense energy around you, if you're not mindful that you are protecting these energy channels, it's very easy for that low vibration to enter in there and get stuck in there. So that causes a block, which then translates into physical pain. And it's very, how to say, it's very easy that we are not constantly, you know, keeping in mind, okay, I have to protect this, I have to protect this, because we are just, you know, out and about living our lives. But that also highlights something quite important, which is energy protection, which we should do every morning before getting out of the house. Even it is the same thing as putting on your clothes. You're protecting your physical body with your clothes. You should protect your spiritual body and energetic bodies with an energy protection, so that things like that don't happen as frequently.
Right. So give us some tips. How do we do that? How do we protect and cleanse it?
You can protect it just by imagining that you have a golden sun here on top of your head, and from this golden sun is raining golden light, and it just fills your entire body and your entire aura. And then you can look up to the sun again, and you can imagine that there's some light blue coming out of it, like it's rain, and it just creates an extra layer outside of this gold. And then you can look at it again and create another layer outside of the gold, which is violet. And these three colors are really important because gold ensures that nothing gets inside of your body and your aura that is not of the highest vibration. The blue, it's the color of Archangel Michael, which protects your energy throughout the day, and it gives you the courage to do the things that you don't feel like doing during your day. And then you have the violet layer, which basically acts as a transmutation layer. So any energy that's directed to you with a purpose, let's say you're having a discussion with someone and someone's just really angry and directing that energy towards you, when it goes through that violet, it's sort of purified, and so it doesn't reach you in that way. So this is a very you know, easy technique that you can do in the morning, and it takes you less than a minute, and you can really see a difference when you do this.
Okay, so just so you first look up and you imagine the golden light above your head and the golden light around your body. Is that right? You first focus on gold.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's violet color that you kind of surround yourself with.
So you first put golden in your body and in your aura, and after the golden, you put light blue, a layer outside of the golden. And then you put another layer of violet outside of the golden. So it incorporates in the blue, it mixes with the blue, and then it creates an extra bit of violet.
Okay, and you do that in the morning, right? Before you kind of get up and start your day.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to give that a go. Anything just to get rid of that ache in my shoulders, because I'm not stressed anything. I mean, I'm excited, you know, I had a great day, but it's just that obviously there's something running in the back of my mind I'm not even aware of. So I'm definitely going to give it a go. Thank you for that.
Another suggestion I would have for you is whenever you start feeling that pressure on your neck and shoulders, just really be assertive and state that this is your body, this is your energy, this is your aura, and you do not allow that to be causing you pain, whatever it is. You just do not allow it, because you are in control of every part of you. So you're in control of your aura, you're in control of all your bodies, and you're the boss. So whenever you state that, the energy has to obey it, because that is your free will at work.
Wow, okay, I can definitely boss it around. I'm really good at that. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now I actually want to then talk a little bit about aura reading. What is actually aura reading and how does it work? Does everybody have their own aura and colors? Can you tell us more about it, please?
Sure. So an aura reading is basically a reading of your energy at this very moment. It is a reading that all your bodies, all the layers of your aura, every part of you can be accessed during this reading. But it is a reading of your present moment. It's not a reading that's going to tell you what's going to happen in the future, because your future is being created every second in your present. With every belief, with every emotion you have right now, you are creating your future. So sometimes actually future things show up in readings, but not always. So an aura reading is a reading of the present. And as you're going to go through the reading, all the blocks that are going to be accessed, they're going to be cleansed. And when they are cleansed, then you stop creating your future based on those blocks that you had, because now they are gone. So with an aura reading, what you're actually doing is getting rid of those blocks so that you can create a different future from the one that you had when you were operating based on those blocks and limiting beliefs. And it's very interesting, aura readings, but you know, I'm a little bit biased because I love them so much. Yes, there are different colors that show up in auras, but it's a little bit different from a reading when you have a picture taken from your aura. So this is a psychic reading, intuitive reading, and it has a defined structure. So we go over different steps, and this allows me to see different colors at each step. And within each color, there is a message. So I'm able to see more than 3 or 4 colors, which is normally what is shown in the pictures when you take a picture of your aura, because I'm accessing different depths and layers within your energy field. Yeah, but we do have, you know, main colors in our aura because they represent the current moment that we're going through. So it's the color has a vibration, and that vibration is translated into words, into your present moment challenges and your present moment personality and struggles. So you have colors in your aura, and they keep changing over time depending on how fast you go through that stage and how you overcome it. And you know, your challenges just keep changing, and so do your colors.
Okay, so I mean, I actually read there are 7 energy fields around us. You get your etheric body, I can't remember, and goes to celestial, yeah. I think it's like number 6 or 7. So is that what you mean by aura, or is that something different? And what's the aura? Is it the energy field around us?
The aura is the energy field around us, which is composed of 7 bodies. And the first one is your physical. So your physical body is in the middle of your aura. And then you have extra 6 bodies, which compose the whole electromagnetic field around you. And this is what we call an aura. So you can see, I mean, everything that has an energy, which is basically everything on this planet, has an aura. Some are more complex than others. For example, objects don't have such lengthy auras, but us humans, because we are multidimensional, we do have bigger auras with so many layers.
Okay, so and then will every layer of energy have its own different color?
So they can, however, what I'm accessing in the readings is a little bit different. Let me explain this. I'm going to say something that's a little bit controversial because everybody loves to know which color they have and what it means, but the color doesn't matter. The color is not the important thing. The important thing is, what is the message behind the color? What is your higher self trying to tell you? What are the challenges? How can you overcome that color and feel better and overcome your challenges? So the color itself, it depends on the reader. You could have me and another aura reader, and I could say that I see blue, and the other person can say they see yellow. And if we read the message will be exactly the same. It just means that me and the other reader have different color systems, but the message behind it will be the same. So in accessing a specific layer and reading it, I can see different colors from another person. So it's really not about what the color is, it's about having the bigger picture that often we cannot see, because here in the 3D reality, we sort of have like a tunnel vision and we cannot see the higher perspective on things. And that's what colors of the aura give you. It's that perspective and how the situations are all linked together and how you can solve them.
But so it tells you how to solve them, but it doesn't actually make you solve them. So how do you actually then, you mentioned earlier that there's certain blockages which you can remove with aura reading. So how would you remove it? And then do they ever come back?
So the blocks that show up in the reading are the ones that are currently affecting you. It doesn't mean that you don't have more. Okay, so these are the ones that are limiting you. The reading itself, the method that the reading type that I do uses, it is about transforming and purifying the energy. So it has a specific methodology that allows me to remove those blocks, because I'm connecting to a higher vibration and working through that higher vibration, that it has sort of a cascade effect that allows those energy blocks to be removed. It does create change, because once you remove those blocks, then things start to move very, how to say, easily, more naturally in your life. Once you remove the limitation that you are not worthy, for example, then you start acting in a different way. You start acting like you are worthy. So you recognize your own value. And that leads you to take actions that are aligned with these values, that are not limiting you, but instead they are empowering you. So sometimes having the reading itself, it's already enough to create change in the next few weeks. But definitely taking the advice that shows up in the reading and actually implementing it can help you move faster in your life and overcome the current situation that you are in.
Wow, I'm having mine tomorrow. I'm just so excited. I can't wait.
Excited for it.
I'm going to be like invincible by end of the weekend. I'll have my offer created with this accelerator launch program I'm doing, and I'm going to be cleansed of all my blockages. And honestly, I'll be like a superwoman. It's amazing. Very excited. So can anybody read aura, or do you have to have a gift, or how does that work?
Anyone can, especially with this method that I apply, because you can learn how to do it. You can learn the structure. And then there is a part within the course where you have to, learn how to connect with your intuition and learn how to let your intuition flow and trust it and let it guide you to show you the things and the messages that you need to see. So that part where you actually have to develop a little bit of your intuition, it depends on which stage and how your not just clairvoyance, but clairsentience and claircognizance as well. It depends on which level you are with this, but definitely if you practice, some people need more practice, some people need less practice, but everybody can do that. So it's not limited to only a few people in this planet. Anyone who wants to learn how to read energy within any method that exists, they can, definitely.
Okay. And you actually learn how to see the different levels of energy also. You can teach yourself how to do that, because I've been focusing on trees a lot, especially, like now with the shops, the long queues outside the shops, and I'll stand there for 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to see energy field around the tree. But no matter how much I stare at it, I see nothing.
So let me tell you a secret. Most people see better with their eyes closed.
Okay.
Because when you turn off your eyesight, especially when you're in the dark, you turn off the lights, you do not see, then if you do not speak, then you start focusing on your hearing. And when you go into a meditation practice, you take your focus out of your hearing, and then you're just letting things flow. So this is when you allow your intuition to come in, and this is when you start visualizing things. When you start imagining things while you're meditating, you're actually visualizing things, and these are messages for you. And it's exactly the same thing when you're trying to see through your intuition, most of the times it's really not seeing. It's visualizing with your eyes closed. It's feeling in your body. It's the sensations you get. It's the, for example, the color yellow. If you had to describe what yellow means to you, what is the sensation that it gives you?
Yeah,
You
I
see?
get it.
So
yeah, I get it so much. Yeah. Okay,
if you
makes
just
sense.
try and focus and focus, I'm trying to see, then you're creating a limitation. It's a resistance, so you will not be able to see.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the other night I was lying in bed, I was trying to get my daughter to fall asleep, and I was also focusing on this TV and like trying to see energies around objects. And then, I just closed my eyes. Actually, well, about an hour later, when I went to bed, I closed my eyes before I was falling asleep, and all of a sudden, I wasn't even meditating, but I saw this fractal patterns, and it only happened to me a couple of times before when I was in deep meditation, like doing a 4-hour pineal gland. But this time I wasn't meditating. I closed my eyes, and the fractal patterns were so vivid. They were like flowers, and there was like patterns, and they were sitting into boats and rivers. And I went on for like, a couple of minutes or so. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even trying to make it happen. It's just happening. It was a beautiful experience. So yeah, I completely get how you just close your eyes and then you do that way, sort of forcing things to happen because you're actually creating that resistance.
Yeah, it's all about relaxing.
And does your aura ever change, or do you always like kind of get stuck with the same aura, or can you change it?
Well, it's not rigid, so it moves a little. So if you stretch your arms, your aura will stretch, and you are in control of it, so you can tell it to shrink a little bit as well. The bodies in the aura, they are always there. So they don't have the exact, rigid structure. They can, interact with one another. So they are not defined usually as we draw it or describe it. So there's an interaction between all our bodies. They're all connected and they move because they are flexible. So in that sense, your aura changes. And the vibration that you have in your aura changes. The colors that you have in it changes because you are exposed to different energies every day and you are going through different emotions every day. And you have an emotional body within your aura. So that means the frequency of each one of your bodies is changing constantly and it's evolving. So it does change in that sense.
Okay. And is there a way to kind of create a change without having a reading, like aura reading? Can people just change something naturally?
Yes. I'm going to share three tips. The first one is that whenever we are interacting with someone, even if it's through the internet, like we're doing right now, we are exchanging energy. We're exchanging words, and words are energy. They carry energy. So we are exchanging words and we're exchanging opinions. But subconsciously, us human beings, everyone in this planet, has the natural tendency to learn from one another. So when we are exchanging opinions, it's very easy for the other person who is listening to someone's opinion to pick up that energy, incorporate it into herself or himself subconsciously. It gets carved in their aura. And from that point on, you start operating based on that opinion you heard. It creates a limiting belief. Let's say, for example, I like to use this example a lot because it's very easy to understand. Let's say we're talking about cars. I have a car and this new car, it's not good because it keeps breaking up and it's very expensive to fix it. So this brand is not good. So the next time that you have to think about which car you're going to get, maybe you're not even going to consider this brand because I mentioned bad things about it. Because subconsciously now you think, okay, it's giving trouble, so I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to look for a better one. And so you are starting to operate based on the belief that that brand is not good. So you're limiting your experience because maybe that car was really good for you, The issue here is that what's creating the car to break down, it's something that's inside of me. It's my own energy that keeps recreating that pattern in my life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the same experience you're going through or that you have to go through. So my first tip would be to be very, very mindful when you are communicating and exchanging opinions with other people. And whenever you spot that someone is telling you something out of their personal belief, really be present and ask yourself, does this belief make sense to me? Does it support me or not? Because being aware that you're picking up on other person's beliefs, it allows you to immediately, throw out the ones that you don't want. So it's really about being aware. You can also work on your beliefs. And, these days we hear a lot about mindset and mindset coaches. And mindset really is very important. But if you're trying to work on your beliefs through your rational thinking, it's going to take you a lot more time, effort, and energy. Because you're going to have to be like the police that just keeps watching your every thought, your every word. And it is just exhausting over time. It takes a lot of you, and it takes a lot of time until you start spotting those beliefs and so on. So my other suggestion is that once you realize you have a belief, instead of trying to transform it mentally, really think of the first time that belief was created. Think back to the initial place, conversation, experience that you had that made you believe in that thing. Because once you solve emotionally what's behind the belief, then the belief itself is released. So this is my other tip, is really going into your emotions and every limitation that you have. Any roadblock that you find, every time you are triggered, every time you find a limiting belief, you go back to the first experience you had that made you think or feel that. And once you find that situation, you allow yourself to feel it through. You do not ignore it. You do not try to silence it. You really sit with it and you really feel it. And this is where things sometimes can get a little bit ugly, so to say, because if you need to cry, then you should cry. If you need to scream, you should scream. You need to feel your emotions all the way through, because once you do that, they lose the power they have. Literally, the energy of the emotion starts to tune down. It dissipates. It removes the resistance, and then consequently it removes the limiting belief, and so you're no longer manifesting from that belief and from that emotion that recreates patterns. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, no, 100%. But like, I think also, obviously, you can sit and do it, but sometimes our beliefs and our emotions, they are so deeply buried within us that to get to it, you really kind of have to spend quite a lot of time sitting with yourself, and that's, I guess, it's a linear way of doing things. It takes time to do it, or you can go have an aura reading, right? And you can address it much quicker and have a faster result. That's just the way I see it, really. It's just, supercharge your ability to manifest and get rid of this limiting beliefs, and hopefully they don't come back to you ever again.
So it's really, when you're trying to do it yourself and you do not know the technique on how to access higher vibrations to cleanse all of this faster, it can take a little bit more work. But the reason why I was mentioning this is because I see so many people trying to change their mindset and limiting beliefs through their rational thinking. And that is what creates resistance. That is what makes things go harder and slower. And eventually people give up on doing that because they just feel that it's not working. So I wanted to bring this topic up because there's that slight change in perception that if you actually go back to the initial situation and release all the emotion that it's there, then it's faster for you once you identify the limiting belief. But yes, it's true that in order to identify these beliefs, you can take a little bit of time unless you are super self-aware, or you decide that, okay, right now for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to question everything I say, and I'm going to question everything people are saying to me. So energy readings that provide a cleanse at the same time are really the fastest way to, you know, access these blocks and remove them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as I said, I'm really looking forward to mine. So if anybody wants to get the aura read or cleanse the energy, where can they find you?
I am mostly active on Instagram at Soraya Rosa _. I do have a website, www.sorayarosa.com. And at the moment, I do have an offer of 50% off on aura readings. And to anyone who cannot, you know, afford a reading, I have aura reading lottery happening every month. So to everyone who subscribes my email list, every month I give away one free aura reading to someone who's chosen randomly. And you can subscribe to my email list on my website as well. So those are the ways you can find me. Or if you're watching this video, comment below and we can chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Please get in touch with Soraya. That's absolutely brilliant. And I'm also going to pop the links actually to your website and other social media under the video, so you guys can find it easy. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you. There's a lot of great tips, and I really appreciate it. I'm sure listeners will
loved
also.
it.
Yes, likewise. Great. And well, everybody, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And have a great evening or afternoon or morning, wherever in the world you are.